Think you know how today's matches will play out? Prove it with Division 1 pick'ems. Follow along and put your predictions to the test. Each week, you can make your picks for both Valorant and League of Legends, or just stick to your favorite game. Predict the winners of our future matches and choose the players you think will have the biggest impact. Every correct pick earns you points. The more points you score, the higher you climb on that leaderboard. At the top, you'll find prizes waiting for you at the end of the split. It's easy to play, adds excitement to every match, and keeps you connected with the action all season long. So lock in your picks, track your progress, and see if you've got what it takes to top the Division 1 Pick'ems leaderboard. Think you know how today's matches will play out? Prove it with Division 1 pick'ems. Follow along and put your predictions to the test. Each week, you can make your picks for both Valorant and League of Legends, or just stick to your favorite game. Predict the winners of our future matches and choose the players you think will have the biggest impact. Every correct pick earns you points. The more points you score, the higher you climb on that leaderboard. At the top, you'll find prizes waiting for you at the end of the split. It's easy to play, adds excitement to every match, and keeps you connected with the action all season long. So lock in your picks, track your progress, and see if you've got what it takes to top the Division 1 Pick'ems leaderboard. Think you know how today's matches will play out? Prove it with Division 1 pick'ems. Follow along and put your predictions to the test. Each week, you can make your picks for both Valorant and League of Legends, or just stick to your favorite game. Hello everyone and welcome to Division 1 Valorant. We are here for the semi-finals. If you were here yesterday, if you were here this weekend, you saw some insane gameplay coming out of a lot of different teams. And now we have gotten our top 4. The number 1 seeds are going to be facing off the seeds that fell, fought previously and managed to work their way up here. And whoever wins today is going to go to a best of 5 grand finals to be crowned the winner of the spring split. My name is Nerds. I'm here with Ancient Angel. And it has been a very interesting day. We were getting so excited for all of the Division 1 action. Well, unfortunately, one of the teams wasn't. Stony Brook is, it was Stony Brook versus Maryville, and we'll get into all of the, what's happening with that, all the stuff, all the little nuances. But Stony Brook, they did really well yesterday against Winthrop, taking down what we all assumed was one of the top 2, top 3 teams, and really, showing their bite and their mark as the Seawolves. But unfortunately, just as a little public announcement, they're going to be playing with their B team, and we have to, obviously discuss that. That being said, that is going to set a little bit of the tone for this first matchup, but we'll have another matchup ahead. Before we get into all of that, let's instead toss it over to you, Ancient Angel. How are we feeling? How are you? I know we've had a bit of a discussion.
It was a beautiful, beautiful game that we watched yesterday between Stony Brook and Winthrop, and it gave us so much hope coming into today that there was going to be this insane matchup, the Seawolves with the momentum to their backs after taking down Winthrop, and the insane run that Winthrop had, because that was the Winthrop main roster. It wasn't the Winthrop Academy team. And then just last minute, it's the B team. So Maryville, if you're Maryville, you're feeling great because you just watched one of arguably the most threatening version of Stony Brook beat Winthrop, who you were expecting to be in the semifinals with you, and now kind of feels like you're on easy street for the next 2 maps.
Well, the narrative has been set. The real question is going to be, are we watching a Maryville that is going to continue their streak of domination, or are we going to see an upset with the B team? Obviously, it being the B team, you really have the expectation set of them not really doing the best, but I always want to give a little bit of credit to them, so we are going to keep an eye on for that. But as I digress, we will be divulging most of that on the server. Beyond just that, you guys saw the map picks and bans a little bit earlier. We're going to be getting into those. We're going to be talking about it. I think we, since it is the B team, I'm not sure if we have all the info on them. So you know what? That's going to be really nice. You know what? I'll throw in this little silver lining. We're going to learn about some new players today. I know one of them was talked about that they played in Game Changers. So, that's going to be really cool. I know Ancient Angel's out here but you always got to keep it a little bit light. And it's something that I'll throw in there, something that I'll add.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting game. That's probably the best way I'd put it. Maryville are going to be what feels like on their way to grand finals, but I'm more interested to see what the map picks look like just for anything, right? Because it's a completely new team, and it kind of feels like there's a lot of advantages going the way of Maryville coming into the series, not only with the fact that it's not the main roster for Stony Brook, but also because of the fact that it's kind of a bunch of unknowns. And so Maryville really get to kind of get the opportunity to really flex about, and you can see it with the map picks finally coming out onto the screen. It's Bind as that first map, Sunset, Decider if necessary, but based on the way that Maryville have been playing in these last couple of weeks, Split does not feel like an issue for them.
That was gonna be the question for me, is because Stony Brook, the Seawolves, they went for Split, and that is not a map. I feel like if you're gonna throw a curveball at them, like Pearl, Abyss, something that you might have have as a pocket pick that might not be comfortable for Maryville. But Split is such a map that and not only has it been in the game for so long, but Maryville is pretty solid on it, depending on which roster we see out of them, because sometimes they play with Wildfire, sometimes they play with Screwface or Eccles. They still are really confident on it, right? They're very comfortable with playing either solo initiator with probably like a Fade, or just having really solid Sentinels. Regardless, it is going to be a question of what kind of damage can we see out of the Seawolves. That's a big thing for me.
I've been very high on Stony Brook the entire season. If the question coming into this is how much damage they can do, that doesn't inspire me with a lot of confidence coming into this series.
That's a bit, truly.
I'm a little bit concerned. I would love a close map, even if that does end up being Split. But if I'm, looking at Maryville throughout the series, which I think all eyes have to be pointed at this team, you're guaranteed going up against what we came into the season expecting to be one of the big four, right? On the other side of the bracket, and we'll see that match later, is the St. Clair versus West Virginia game. That's the team you're going to be going up against. If you can show as little of your hand as possible against this Stony Brook team, that is going to be your key when it comes time for grand finals. Because you're Maryville. You play a lot of games. This is one of those opportunities that you have to just breeze your way through and not worry about overplaying your cards.
Well, Breeze not being in the map pool, we're going to be heading to Bind, where I'm going to huff a little bit of Hopium and say that if we see some Brawl comps here, if we see the double duelists, there's a real chance a dude named Elo Demon. Elo Demon, I love that name. Oh my god. If Elo Demon can do some damage, that's my Hopium. I will say Bind, I feel like, could be a little closer because sometimes you get into those close squabbles and brawls, and that'll be my only little spark to hopefully ignite the Stony Brook squad here.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping for something out of Elo Demon, right? Just this unknown Rays prodigy. I think something else that's kind of cool is Gia. The Viper
Shouts out
player.
Gia.
Yeah, shout outs Gia. GC representation here in Division 1. I think the third ever player to be a GC player here in Division 1.
Woo!
That's because they're the other two on St. Clair. So let it be known. Gia, number 3.
Hey, we'll see how they do. Oh, dude, they have cams. Oh, we get to know them a bit more. Okay, well, Elo Demon is immediately gonna go for Showers Control. It's a crunch, actually. I like this. We expected Stony Brook to not have much, but this is very coordinated. Clark's gonna go down off the rip, and I obviously am very pleased and surprised by this.
No, that was a great opening play, right? Crunch through the B side, teleporter into Showers. Get that opening pick, and it's going to force Maryville to really rethink this pistol.
Think they have to, though, because they want to go towards the B site. Anj going to take the first down, but Elo Demon's there for the trade, and Stony Brook is playing numbers insanely well here on the pistol. Ren's now the last player alive, needs to do it all, but has very little to do so. One more pick gives him a refrag, but... I'm sorry, refract. He needs to get a refrag, I guess, or multiple of them. But he's getting encroached on. Can't even find Gia. That's so unfortunate. The pistol goes in favor of Stony Brook.
Listen, that's a phenomenal start. And that's exactly what you're hoping for from this Stony Brook team, right? We talked about damage. This is one way to do it. And you can see spirits are very, very high for the B team. But... They really need to not only get that pistol, but now it's time for the anti-eco. Keep things clean, because you're going to need as much momentum as you can throughout the remainder of this map to really start to try and solidify yourselves as a team that needs to be taken seriously. And that's the goal right now for this team.
Oh, look at this buy, Angel.
Yeah. G2 buy.
Do you think it's... I feel like this could be dubious. Especially with Ren's on that Bucky in hand walking up towards short. It's going to be off of who gets this first contact and in which way it goes. Dashing on in! Falters! A judge beating out a Bucky. Just a little bit too strong, I guess.
That's the reload, and Cloric gets to go in, immediately gets the trade in as well with one onto Andrew. It means it's a 3-on-3, and you have to hope that Elo Demon can bail you out!
Okay, but now it's just... We have to recollect here. Cloric is going to recover a Vandal. Can pick up the spike potentially here. No bullets. The reload heard. And a great reposition here. Cloric can snatch this away.
I have the spike.
No spike.
Picks up the spike up towards heaven. There was so much, like, tension there made by the G2 buy. And honestly, great damage for Maryville, right? Because they did a lot of damage. The problem is, this eco... is looking rough.
The problem is, right, this was not a round where you were looking for damage. This was a round where Maryville was looking to steal it away. And unfortunately, when you don't get that opportunity, now Stony Brook gets to kind of just walk through the early stages of this half, right? You can see already multiple full rifles being bought out for Stony Brook. Maryville, once again, dealing with a very awkward eco. There's like one Bucky, I think, in the hands of Renz again.
I mean, listen, if they could do the same, they got it really close. They could do the same thing. It would be really fun to see, but again, it's unlikely, right? Because lightning striking twice would be act of God, maybe.
Well, it hasn't struck once yet, so still a chance.
True. Dash on in. John Frank is immediately going to say, no, not allowed. Gia gonna help out as well as they crunch onto Chloric. Still alive.
Wow.
Chloric still alive. Again, right, they're losing a lot of players here, which is a bit concerning, but nothing too crazy just yet.
Yeah, and then unfortunately not going to be able to clutch out the 1v3. So Stony Brook, they're going to continue that streak. But this is the round where we really need to start to consider things, right?
Oh,
Maryville
yeah.
will have those full rifles in hand, maybe just a couple light shields as concessions. And so for Stony Brook, once again, you know, we talk about the ingenuity in the pistol. Well, we're going to need to see something like that again. Where are you going to change things? Where are you going to kind of turn yourselves into a new team identity-wise?
I mean, I feel like we are. I'm pleasantly surprised by at least one of these teams' identities. And
Yeah.
look at this setup that they have.
No way.
This is such a nice little play. The
He's
amount
holding
of
for this,
pressure. Oh, but
very
doesn't
much aware.
find him.
And,
That's so tough.
I mean, it's a lot of space granted over towards A as well, especially considering that player goes down and showers early. So that forces now these players over towards B to double stack over towards Hookah. Ange has a lot of space, so they know there's not a quick flank going on. Maryville, they might have the macro done for this round.
But Elo Demon is still alive. And no one is out towards Hookah. This ultimate hits nobody. Dash gonna come through. This gives Maryville the entry. And Hookah now becoming the problem in the moment. TP comes out as well. Gia's on a double. And this is so well played by Stony Brook.
I have no words. Stony Brook,
Dude, what are
a
they feeding?
4-0 start against Maryville, and that's even after Maryville got the opening pick.
I cannot fathom how well they played that. They stuck in towards Hookah and then allowed the flood to come in out of B long to then capitalize on their early aggressive entry, reading Maryville extremely well in the moment. It was just very good individual, like, okay, we're just gonna chill back Hookah and let them, they can take the site. We're just gonna win the fights. Like, we'll have the advantage in the moment. And even then, the confidence that they displayed is now just is on full display, right? I expect this round to kind of even, you know, flop even more. It's an eco. There's two big ultimates. But the only thing that's giving me a bit of hope is that Maryville on an eco. They have a Bucky. They have something they can do. They're going to try and farm their ult, it seems.
No. Okay, listen. I've bought back into the Seawolf system, and the fact that Amikale gets to sit op in hand, posted up on this B site, even this fast rotation, there's still going to be two players over towards this A site, one of them being the Elo Demon himself.
There's that ult. I was talking about how they're going to play off of an ult. I think they want to plant and play off a Viper Pit, right? I should have specified which one, but on the counter, though, we have the Raise Rocket available, and they're going to yeah, they're going to try. They're immediately going to use it to try and find Rens. They do just that. Ult for ultimate engaged here, and on the site they go.
And Viper's Pit's out, but Andrew with the judge makes it all happen. There's no more Viper's Pit! That's ridiculous from Andrew, and Stony Brook are up 5-0!
Listen, I made a statement in the production chat, and I did not believe, like, this is unreal. And you know how you didn't have words last time? I don't have words for that, because Andrew finding 4 there is nothing short of utter just, it feels like flow state almost, where he just pops in there and just is like, boom, 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 I need a lock in, gets onto another.
And I came into this series, you know, again, we know nothing about these players in terms of Division 1, right? Never played a single map before, any of these 5 players. And now here we are.
This is truly the dark. Like, we talked about dark horses on our podcast, Tilt Proof. Go check it out. But this is insane. Like, how this happens.
Yeah, I mean, that is truly insane. And Stony Brook now potential for a sixth, unless Ange can find something, but that won't be the case. It's a dimensional drift from Screwface to try and even the odds, get some information over. I don't know if Maryville are going to be able to fight their way through this again.
I doubt so. Like, look at the positioning. They have to get the player out here. Oh, this ultimate. Orbital Strike denies the plants. They do get the players towards elbow. Oh. That's a double found here. Maryville now looking in a way better spot. Gonna use the converging paths to enter on in. Renz, though, low at 30 HP. Players further back out. Fight together, and it works great for them.
No way.
But what is this double? Nasty work here. Oh.
1v2. Okay. So 1v2. Amikale only really gets to work with the judge. Sure, we'll be able to swap, but we're so late into this game.
At this point, it's do or die. No utility. You just need the gunfights. Knows there's one out. Spots out Ren. Saturate misses. Whiffs the jump, but that might be bad for them. No! Ren's gonna find them. The first found for Maryville. The bleeding has stopped.
I don't even think that was bleeding. I think that was more of just a full loss of a limb for Maryville in the first 5 rounds of this game. But it's something on the board for them. They get the opportunity moving forward to play back up to their standard, especially considering they keep that economy somewhat together. The problem is Amikale is still on this op, and they have a Viper's Pit available for Gia, meaning this retake, this post-plant for Maryville is not going to be easy at all.
I think my mind is still on the fact that that was extreme, like that was borderline winnable. But still, at this point, talk about the post plant. The spike needs to go down. They've been having some trouble with it. First fight won by Screwface, and that is going to give a moment of reassurance. But this nasty angle out of this player. Oh, it's going to get caught. Still gets the 1-for-1 on. Just going to take them. But again, plant going down here is huge. Screwface falls. Makes it even yet again. Dimensional drift now available. It didn't get caught. Oh, you can't pick it up anymore.
Nope. Dimensional drift changes. Get used to them because Amikale's revealed the entire position of this post-plant setup.
Oh, but Ren's still going to be the one to get the kills. Still the one to get the picks here. It's planted for them. Gets onto another. Cloric still on the site. You might know exactly where Maryville are, but they have a bit of confidence back into them. John. All right. Making it look doable every single time. Honestly, you grab Ren's here. Doesn't know that the last player's towards Cubby. Ange. Unsure. But there's no time.
Ange in the late round always will be enough to take it home. Plays off the time. Maryville get a second, but these rounds are so close for Maryville. Again, coming into this series that we thought was a shoo-in, and we talked about Maryville not needing to overplay their hands, they're gonna have to. They're going to need to rely on everyone on this team. They're gonna need to start bringing out some of these calls because you have some powerhouses. Giza not off to a super great start. Cloric's been a little bit on the slower side coming into this series. And Stony Brook, they're warm and they're showing no signs of slowing down anytime soon.
They're fighting for these extremities, but getting punished as a result. It seems almost like for Stony Brook, they had one really good strat, and now it's just falling apart because, look, Maryville's picking them off. Something that I noticed on the macro change is that they just straight up, like, Stony Brook was fighting for extremities. They were fighting out. They were going showers. They were going towards a short. They were winning out those fights, and now, for some reason, they're still doing it while they're losing the overall game, or overall round.
Well, I think that's more of a consequence than a cause, but Elo Demon on that rotate. Post plant will be able to go down. It's going to go down safe in the tube, but it's even numbers now, 3-on-3 because of the spray through the smoke.
It's very doable.
Oh, Giza.
Oh, Giza. Whiffs!
No!
That is not a moment where we want to see that. It's so doable here. Cloric takes down Andrew. Saturate doesn't land, but Cloric does. Elo Demon now the last player standing. spammed on through, finds onto one, has two more to get the ace clutch, but the time is just not on your side. No matter what you do, you still need to play for that spike. Oh, gets peppered up from another angle. This is probably overcooked.
Impressive wiring.
Yeah, 3 bullets and shorty to the head.
Right back.
Renz will be able to take things over. Maryville grab that 3rd round, and now it's starting to feel a bit more familiar to the Maryville we expected coming into this. Maybe just a bit of a cold start.
Yeah.
Cold hands.
Just needed to, you know, grab them. Like, you know, I always like rub my hands, so you're like, ooh, and then I'm ready to go. But I think also it was just a bit of an adjustment of how they played, and it's great. It's insane how Maryville can do that without like a timeout. They just adjust their own game plans, test out different things, and then once they find what works, they just keep going for it. And like right now, they're even adjusting. They were kind of defaulting a past couple of rounds, and now they're going for a little split here towards the A site to switch it up. They've been going B a fair bit.
Face your fear!
System of the Saints. And there's the Nightfall now onto the A site. Does tag onto one, and Renz be able to capitalize on that.
Behind them.
Out of the round. It's just up to Andrew left in U-Haul.
Behind them, though. They need to stay here. Andrew living just for long enough, but unfortunately not long enough to, you know, allow this flank to come to full fruition. Still, though, gonna net them 1 pick. It's always nice to see. But the spike being down with player count being even lower, it feels like, again, a nigh impossibility. Elo Demon living for just long enough to show off some flashy movement, but that's all you're gonna get. John Frank looking to get more damage than what they've already found. You want to take as many players down as you can, obviously, on this eco.
I think even more than that, what you're looking for is a possible rifle to escape the round with. Like that one. If you take care of Chloric, it's going to force more people to stay nearby. Unfortunately, no one will go down to the spike, but still, you got 3. Maryville, they're going to have to reinvest into this round somewhat. So, you're going to make it a bit more difficult for Maryville to potentially take a lead at the half.
Glass cannon op for
Amikel.
I
like it.
Interesting. I mean, listen, with what we've seen out of his op skills, I don't mind it. It just is a little interesting for the glass cannon.
The fear is how they're going to set that up, right? Because unfortunately for Stony Brook, when they've had this op, it really hasn't made a lot of early round impact. So how are you going to set it up, and then how are you going to play off of the op once it's already set up? And that dimensional drift does not inspire a lot of confidence.
Yeah, it forces them out of the Viper's pit. Gonna allow Renz to play with it. Oh, this is beautiful. Wow. Renz playing off that dimensional drift perfectly to find a double on the site. Opens if they get the plans, and it should be easy pickings. Realistically, the only entry that I can see is probably the Nightfall, but even then, it's dubious at best. It's very dubious.
It's a 3v5. You need to keep some rifles in for the last round. You have a glass op working its way through heaven.
Save the op, get a pick, get out.
I don't mind any of that.
They're scaling.
It's a full commit.
They're scaling. Andrew's gonna find 2. Keeps the players on the side, but they really need to speed this up. The spike is ticking. Time not in their favor yet again. A little bit of a interesting. Whips out the knife, maybe pressing, fat fingering a button. But yeah, they are gonna save that op.
Amikel.
Oh, they
just gonna have to try and keep this op. Last couple of shots going through, trying to run away. Oh, just barely escapes. Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin kind of runaway moment. So we're at the timeout now for Stony Brook.
Yes.
After winning the first 5 rounds in a row, they've now lost 5 in a row, so we're tied up. Where do we feel like Maryville have been excelling in these last 5 rounds?
I mean, I think I've kind of brought it up where it's like the reads were really solid out. Not even the reads, but just the overall game plan for Stony Brook was take extremity control and fight out. In this one, they tried playing a bit further back. They put the Viper's pit. They played a little sedentary, and Maryville kind of read into that. They understood, okay, well, we're going to counter you because we have our own ultimates. So for the previous round specifically, it felt like they, just got outclassed with the ultimates that they had. They used the dimensional drift, got a lot of info. Renz played off of it perfectly. And I think that's kind of what it is for Maryville. They have really good player quality and adaptive calling. Whereas for Stony Brook, they kind of went with a strategy that worked a fair bit, and now need to just adjust that macro strategy and maybe a little bit of confidence back in each individual player. Because they were hitting some nasty shots, but now Elo Demon doesn't seem to be hitting as hard. Obviously, John Frank and Andrew have been doing good, but I want to see some of these duelists shine.
That's the hope, is that you can get either of these two duelists in on the action, but unfortunately with the weaponry they're working with, it's going to be hard. You have to essentially rely on Amikale with this op to be the tip of the spear. The other thing as well is this fight in showers. It has to go the way of Stony Brook, and Andrew will be able to bring it for the Seawolves.
Smoke's down.
Now they could just fall back, play their numbers, relax. They already have good hookah control as well. So they're going to double up into this for at least a trade. On the flip side, there's a little bit of a lurk brewing towards A.
I mean, that's a fair bit of space for Ange, and that might call Maryville back, especially if Ange can continue to find people. Giza will be able to maintain a little bit more attention over towards this B site, keep the bulk of the Stony Brook defense there. So for Screwface and Chloric, how much can you clear out before Elo Demon starts taking heads?
Well, Emo Demon also spots them out, which calls for the TP, so now there's 3 towards the A site. They need to speed up into this, but Elo Demon immediately rips the ult. Is playing for the stall. They're playing for the retake. That was the call. Rush in towards U-Haul. What does it net them? It nets them.
Wow.
Elo Demon dead. Andrew, though, is already rotated out here with the ultimate. Sends it. Forces Giza off of the plants. Oh, look at this brewing. Gia has wrapped around. Gets caught. Yes, I cast or cursed it. I thought they were going to play to contain here, but it seems like Chloric is going to vent a lot of this pressure.
Yeah, and now a 2v4. Once again, Op still on the board. A save needs to be considered. John Frank will go for this and will get one, but Giza's right there. Shorty in hand. Don't do it, Giza. Oh.
He gets 2. That's crazy.
Just let it be known that Giza in this game, I think he has, yeah, he has 8 kills, and at least half of them are from shorties.
Yeah.
So
Team player, truly.
yeah, I mean, no, he's taking the fight right to Stony Brook, and it's working in his favor right now. He does have the orbital strike online for the last round. Stony Brook, it's a broken buy, not much to work with. You just have to hope that you can somehow piece together enough shots to get yourself an even half.
See how it goes. Not in your favor. Oh, the sniper battle down long just does not work in favor of Stony Brook. And now Screwface going to pick up a Bulldog just to entry in even faster. Reads that Andrew is towards hookah. So now they know this tether going to force him out to stay on the site. They've already rotated out towards A. They fractured the Stony Brook defense.
Poison's off.
Well,
okay.
Elo Demon, it's at least one, but it's still a 3-on-3. The weaponry is still in favor of Maryville, but Gia, a huge double kill out from U-Haul, and that completely flips the round, and Chloric alone 1v3 can't clutch it out.
And right when we thought Stony Brook might have faltered, they find their stride in the most interesting of ways. Gia,
Say insane.
I was gonna say interesting, because insane would be like a 1v4, a 1v5, but they did that just well. They just did it interesting. They pieced apart players from different sites. It was, I believe, a 3-4 when it started, and they managed to just pick off the right pieces at the right times. And it was really off the back of, if we're talking about insanity, Gia going insane.
Well, and that's just it, is the fact that you can have people on this Stony Brook team pop off individually at such a level to where you're not really concerned about any of the, I guess, firepower individually from Maryville. That's huge for you.
Still really slow on the stall here. And the fact that, by the way, we expected Stony Brook to just get like maybe 210,
I was
something,
expecting
9-3.
Like a 3-9, 4-8-3.
Like 6-6 is pretty good.
Yeah.
That's really solid for them.
I mean, the fear is that now, in theory, for Stony Brook, they're on the harder of the two halves, right? So especially if Maryville win this, and then, you know, now Stony Brook is looking at like a 6-7, and then that turns into like a 6-9, 6-10. That's when you start to get a little scared. But, I mean, for now, Stony Brook, this is great. The only fear is you have some B-long control. How do you really turn that into an exec and then a round win?
I mean, I have I have no clue, but it feels like Fnatic. They're just trying to bait out some utility, and Maryville isn't giving it up.
They got the snake
30
bite
seconds.
out.
Okay, speaking of baiting out, Anj and Cloric are already going to find 2, and now they have to figure some sort of semblance, and they don't. Anj and Cloric just hand in hand on a full house 3-2 combo.
Yep, that is the Anj special of being good at the game and hitting your shots. Because this
Slow roll
guy,
didn't work?
Yeah. Listen, this guy as an anchor is someone who is consistently underestimated time and time again. And you always see him on these roles as a smokes player, as like a very late round type of personality. And to see him on the defense, which is where he shines, in my opinion, is when his back's up against the wall and he just needs to focus on his aim. He truly soars above a lot of other players.
Soaring, flying, having Renz with a Bucky down towards A short, waiting for the smoke to pop out. Oh, just for not to find much. Giza finds 3 though. It's okay. Giza's here. Giza. No way. Renz gets 1 pick at 1 HP, and it's the last pick to steal the A.
Good round, Renz. Yep.
Good round. Yeah, Dubs. No, Renz won it for them. Without Renz was the bait.
To be fair, Renz had a really bad start to this game, right? We talked about the first 5 rounds. I think he was the first death in like 3 of them, right? To now turn that around into being the top performer at the start of this half, 13-10. I mean, that's exactly what you want to see from him, especially considering he is supposed to be like your star duelist, your tip of the offense.
Oh,
in many ways. And,
things I want to see
again,
right
Renz,
now.
Go in.
These are things I want to see. Renz getting one with a Bucky, this time landing, but the trades are back and forth, and this is not a good look for Stony Brook. We wanted to see them try and dominate this round, and it hasn't happened. It is a lot of noise towards B, though. They are rotating A. That pick through the smoke falls in favor of Gia, and she's already heads up. She's like, I'm going straight into here.
No, that was an amazing shot by Gia, and that completely... doesn't seal the round, but it does make it very, very good odds for Stony Brook, right? 3v2, post-plant, in hand, and ready. These last 2 players from Maryville, Cloric and Giza, both in the back of the site, will be able to be picked apart by these crossfires. It's really up to Cloric in the 1v3. If you can isolate John Frank, take care of Gia, who's only at 10 HP.
But they're just playing safe. They're just playing safe here, Angel. They do not want to take any fights. Yeah, they've lost some players. Yeah, they've lost a little bit in terms of the eco, but they desperately need this round if they want it to be even. Oh, Gia. Oh, no, Gia. Don't give him another. Don't give Cloric... no, but just the Vandal you're losing here.
Nah.
That's crazy.
You lose all 5, but you get the round, and that's really what matters, right? Because there was a real chance that you lost that 3v1 to Cloric. So, you at the very least can take the round. You have to come into this one a little bit concessions made. You know, you can see Amikale only on a Guardian, Andrew down to a Bulldog. But overall, it's looking all right. The real fear is Screwface, who's going to be able to get to this Outlaw, and it's essentially going to be able to just farm if he can get on a good line. So if you can either avoid him as much as possible or make sure that you're not dry swinging his lines, that's going to be your best bet in order to continue your momentum and take this round and tie us back up at 8-all.
I mean, Anj is already peeking out. Giza gets taken. Trying to get early info to read where Stony Brook is going, but with Yoru being able to play that trickster mentality of I get a pick here and then I TP back to the team, it's going to be a bit hard. They do call for this B hit, so the rotate for Renz is there. Oh, he's just repositioning up towards heaven, huh?
There's a lot of players out towards long right now. And she's going to be able to bait for the flash, and Chloric gets the double on the swing. It's now all up to Gia, the only player for Stony Brook away from the trap play set up from Maryville.
Oh, what a beautiful trap play as well, right? Walk in towards long. We have our stack here. If they're not there, they can just rotate out. Gia now, like you said, on an island with 40 seconds. It's really unlikely.
Save.
Maryville biting back here is going to be huge, right? Like, it builds up a lot for them.
30 seconds left.
Spots out one on Chloric, but can we really do too much else? At this point, probably not.
It's more spotting in the other way right now. Maryville knows where Gia is, and so it's really just a fight for Gia to keep this Vandal for as long as possible. And we'll be able to save. It's not like Maryville's going to go wide swinging in the last 5 seconds.
Oh, no.
So, but maybe not. Maybe
no, they will.
Well,
maybe they're just trying to spook Gia out. Because look at where Yoru is. Very possible.
No,
oh, no. She's just high. She tucks away.
So, he tried to go for a sneaky little wallbang kill. It doesn't happen. And Maryville calling the timeout.
Maybe something Coach MCE saw that wasn't too happy with in terms of the...
He saw someone needed to use the bathroom.
Oh, truly. Truly, they were the legs were shaking. They were like,
yep.
I'm locked in. Guys, it must be 7:13.
They're rocking back and forth right now.
I mean, realistically, yeah, I don't know what MCE would talk to Maryville right now. They've been playing really well. They lost the last round, but they were, you know, understandably on a worse off bye. They played in a really good trap. Someone is...
Yeah.
I swear that's insanely funny.
Chloric had to take a bathroom break.
Fair enough.
I think that's Chloric. If it's not Chloric, then...
All I know is this is going to help Stony Brook a bit to reset, I fear.
I don't think so.
Good.
It's going to give Stony Brook an opportunity to think
hope.
about something, but I think ultimately you have to remember that this is a not all that practiced attack side for Stony Brook on one of the hardest attacking sides in the game against arguably the best collegiate team. Period.
Yes. Yeah, they were
defensively.
flawless.
I think defensively far and away, and offensively they're still top 5, top 3. So.
Oh yeah.
You know, Stony Brook, they've got a fair bit of work cut out for them.
I like this setup again, right? Towards B long, making it seem spooky, making it seem like you can't enter into here. Hopefully, Stony Brook show a little bit less fear. This trap is still set up here. Wow. I don't think they're gonna get caught in it though.
No, Maryville not going to be able to get away with the same trap twice. Instead, it's going to be this play over towards Showers for a little bit, see what Stony Brook can find out there, while the remaining stack goes towards Hookah. The problem is, you've sent Screwface on alert.
Ooh.
Never mind!
Renz joins in! Renz joins in! Elo Demon bouncing around, can't find much. Oh no.
Got the spike.
Well,
I like the way that they played that. Renz being able to join up into the fight, it was beautiful. I mean, at this point, right, Maryville's just keeping it clean as ever.
I mean, they did lose one, right? That's something.
Yeah,
Andrew gets
but
to steal away a Vandal.
30 seconds
Potential
left.
for them to rework their way over towards long. Maybe isolate the pick onto Ange. Chloric goes 1 for 1.
I mean, I'd love to see it actually. You know what?
Plant.
I'm gonna believe with you. Watch a Stony Brook do the impossible. Get spread. No, I mean they get the 1 for 1, but that's the Vandal recovered. The plant needs to go down. You already have a player on the site, so that's the big problem for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, losing only 2 there is, I still think, pretty solid for them because I don't know. I just think that Maryville's comfortable.
3 rounds in a row, so
yeah.
Comfortable feels like an understatement. This just feels like the team that we were expecting coming into the day. I'd say more warm is the wording I would use, but in a really good position. Screwface now gets to post up this op over towards long, in case you thought that the 3 rifles trap wasn't overkill already.
Holding this down. Oh, does not connect. Okay. Nice little fight out towards B-Long. They're fighting together. I like that they're actually going for this. Immediately, though, countered. That's going to be rough. The double up is there. So, oh, my gosh. Converging paths. Ren's going to take advantage of that. Immediately finding a double. Untradeable. That's the spike. And yeah, no, fair enough. This is immediate. Like, you know what?
Oh, no.
You know what it is?
Mikhail had the dimensional drift and couldn't get to the spike in time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like at this point they just need to put everything on the line. They're doing just that, but it's just not working for them.
No, it's okay, because watch, Amikil can just walk through the smoke and get beheaded by Ange.
As he pops out immediately. Yep. And now you're stuck inside the teleporter for what, 35 seconds? Are we just waiting here? Because the moment you open that door, there's 3 players on the other end.
That's
the Rens. That is, oh, I mean, listen, I had to go look this up, but the weather report says it's, you know, it is freezing in Missouri right now, 33 Fahrenheit. So, and I guess they had a cold start and they're playing cold here because Rens, what did we just witness? Tomfoolery.
Yeah, just you know, some. I was trying to think of a synonym, and I actually just can't. So tomfoolery.
My lexicon is vast.
Horseplay. That's what it was. There.
Fair. We'll see though. I mean, it's also another eco right now here for Stony Brook, by the way. Screwface gets a double. Oh, get it. Okay, finally we see someone punish them. Spike's gonna be recovered. Elo Demon has the Elo stick, but Rens is just really good here. Out on the trail. Currently, I think the top performer on the board has a shorty in hand.
One more with the shorty, Rens. Come on. Andrew's low. Just go jump
He's one shot.
Or are you gonna give it to Giza? You know, I'm also, you know.
Giza's gonna grab it, isn't he?
Let Giza get the kill. Yeah, that's fine. And now match point Maryville.
Yeah, this is kind of what we expected, unfortunately. And I'm giving a little bit of hype, a little bit of hopium. Like, the string is still there because of that first half, but I think at some point have to just let go because at this point they've won the only round that they won was the round that they're statistically likely to win because it is uneven and in their favor.
Yeah, you know, defense-sided map. Maryville's a really good defense team. What else is there to really say? I mean, execute off the Nightfall maybe, and then hope that you can clear out the Viper's Pit, and then use your own Viper's Pit over towards A and win around that way, and then at least got it to 12 or 13.
Rens just gets so much info, by the way. I think he spots out 2 players, and now they know. They've spotted out 2 players. I'm pretty sure they even spotted out like the utility from Elo Demon from the Rays. So they're going to read into this and be like, okay, there's probably a stack here. So they have 3 players on the site. They still have the Viper's Pit. They're going to keep Screwface with this op line towards Showers. I feel like Maryville's perfect. Like, yeah, you know, we know what's going to be happening. We're totally going to be disciplined in this moment. And
what's great about this angle from Screwface is Elo Demon's not expecting it. So this dry swing that's about to come in is very, very mean. So you're really going to have to hope that for Stony Brook, this Nightfall that you're committing over towards short will be able to find, at the very least, Ange. Because otherwise, this entire plan goes awry, and you've got 30 seconds, so you do not have time to pivot.
Face your fear!
So they're going to go for it. I thought they expected Ange to potentially peek out.
That activates Elo Demon.
Okay, pushes in, loses the fight, though. Ange is just a little too clean with it. Nasty even, toxic even, through the smoke, though. And Kyle gonna get 1. They have to go for a plant. It's a rush towards someplace, but they have no time. They have to run towards A, and it's through the Viper's Pit that they have to go through. There's no way we lose off of time here. The spike is down, and there's nothing you can do here. GG's as Maryville showcase even more of their prowess.
13-7 on their own map pick of Bind. They started slow into today, and they walk away with the win.
I mean, that
You
first
can't
half
say it
was,
wasn't expected.
listen, the first half got me a lot. Like, I was like, 5-0 start. But no, this is something that we kind of expected. And it's unfortunate in the realm of commentary and in the realm of watching games like this where the matchups happen like that. But again, you always got to give a lot of credits to what we saw out of Stony Brook. They have a impressive defense. They know how to play it well. They had a couple of good ideas that I do want to shout out. I do want to give hype and credit to. Like, just take Gia, for example, individually as a player. Oh, they were popping. She was doing fantastic, right? Like,
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we don't have something to go with they, but like they were doing fantastic, right? So I have to give a lot of credit to a player like that. Obviously, Elo Demon, he was on some true Elo Demon shenanigans with the jumping and double satcheling. But at the end of the day, Maryville win, I think, off of coordination and just overall game plan.
Yeah, I mean, there were so many opportunities for Maryville in that game where it was truly just down to their coordination, the plays that they had set up beforehand. You have to give credit to Renz, I mean, for the turnaround that he had throughout this game. Also, quick shout out to Screwface, because yeah, he's at the bottom of the leaderboard for this Maryville team, but he had the most first bloods out of anyone in the lobby. Even more than Renz, and Renz had 3. Screwface had 4, which was half of his total kills. So you want to talk about someone being that sacrificial player, being the spearhead, so the rest of the team can succeed? That was Screwface in this match, hand over fist.
Truly, it was insane to watch how the second half unfolded. Like, I have nothing else to say other than just the second half was what we expected for the whole series. But again, this isn't the whole series. We still have one more map up and coming. It is going to be Split, and I believe the pick for Stony Brook. So stay tuned. We will see if the Seawolves can bring some of that spark from the first half of Bind onto Split after this short break. Think you know how today's matches will play out? Prove it with Division 1 pick'ems. Follow along and put your predictions to the test. Each week, you can make your picks for both Valorant and League of Legends, or just stick to your favorite game. Predict the winners of our future matches and choose the players you think will have the biggest impact. Every correct pick earns you points. The more points you score, the higher you climb on that leaderboard. At the top, you'll find prizes waiting for you at the end of the split. It's easy to play, adds excitement to every match, and keeps you connected with the action all season long. So lock in your picks, track your progress, and see if you've got what it takes to top the Division 1 Pick'ems leaderboard. Think you know how today's matches will play out? Prove it with Division 1 pick'ems. Follow along and put your predictions to the test. Each week, you can make your picks for both Valorant and League of Legends, or just stick to your favorite game. Predict the winners of our future matches and choose the players you think will have the biggest impact. Every correct pick earns you points. The more points you score, the higher you climb on that leaderboard. At the top, you'll find prizes waiting for you at the end of the split. It's easy to play, adds excitement to every match, and keeps you connected with the action all season long. So lock in your picks, track your progress, and see if you've got what it takes to top the Division 1 Pick'ems leaderboard. Think you know how today's matches will play out? Prove it with Division 1 pick'ems. Follow along and put your predictions to the test. Each week, you can make your picks for both Valorant and League of Legends, or just stick to your favorite game. Predict the winners of our future matches and choose the players you think will have the biggest impact. Every correct pick earns you points. The more points you score, the higher you climb on that leaderboard. At the top, you'll find prizes waiting for you at the end of the split. It's easy to play, adds excitement to every match, and keeps you connected with the action all season long. So lock in your picks, track your progress, and see if you've got what it takes to top the Division 1 Pick'ems leaderboard. And here we get to see the Wild Maryville, who has just been dominating not only the regular season, but in their opening match in playoffs, had a bit of an interesting story. But as Maryville does it, they consistently shine and outperform. They won it 13-7 if you're just tuning into some Division 1. We are here with Maryville versus Stony Brook. And the Seawolves, they're playing with their B team, but they showed some bite here. Let's see if they can show the bite here on Split again. That's going to be our map number 2. I think it'll be interesting. We're loading into the game shortly, so we'll see immediately as we hop into the action.
We have the Maryville in their wild habitat, getting ready for map number 2 of the semi-finals. If they win this map, they will make their way into the grand finals completely unscathed.
In their natural habitat and unscathed. They're the apex predators of the food chain, aren't they?
They really, really are. And it's the fact that their biggest challenge was supposed to be the Stony Brook team, but unfortunately it had to be the B team to sub in. So.
Yeah. But like I said, we're going to be heading into Split immediately. We get to see the agents. Breach comp, they love the breach that they run here. Double Sentis looking nice. On the flip side, we have double controller.
This Stony Brook comp feels a little out of place. I don't know how I feel about Amikale being on the Viper. Maybe this is his preferred agent, and maybe it just so happened that Bind really didn't allow for some of these guys to play in their natural roles. But I mean, for the side of Stony Brook, wait a minute, not Stony Brook, Maryville. I don't know why the teams are wrong at the top, but for the side of Maryville, there we go. For the side of Maryville, this is kind of the Screwface playground where he loves being on this raise. Renz gets to kind of fall back into a more reserved position, which he does like to be in.
Oh, wow. Immediate little trap setup here, and they fight out into it. Giza alongside Screwface going hand in hand. Screwface on the right click. They're also starting on their preferred side of defense here on Split, so realistically, this is all going in favor of Maryville. Gia's the only player to find a pick so far.
So Stony Brook now 2v4. They don't really have a lot of space to work with. Giza's just going to go ahead and try and get some friendly fire damage underway.
It's doable. Wait a minute.
Huge 2.
They found the 2.
They have the space. They can get the barrier up so they can cross over to vent. So it's a 1v2 over towards this A site with Chloric being the sole defender.
A flash to make it seem like they might be applying pressure. Stun as well.
Huge pick. And now it's just that 1v2 on the other side. They know where these players are. Andrew has to isolate this pick or risk the backstab from Vents.
Oh, but Cloric is just so aware of stalling that timer and just waiting for the double swing with his teammate.
Time to take these arms for a spin.
So Maryville, they get this huge pistol round underway. And the big thing as well is the fact that, you know, we talk about bind. Stony Brook, they were in this lead. They could snowball off of the pistol to get this 5-0 lead. Now they don't get that opportunity, right? They can't start in the map strong. Instead, Maryville gets that. So now it's really about, for Stony Brook, what can you find when you don't have this kind of snowball start in your favor?
I don't know what you can find. We'll see how it goes. Renz is immediately out in mid with an Ares, by the way. Oh, this spam could be really silly. Oh. Finds it, but gets 1 for 1. I mean, it's really nice if they take a player down, but they can't recover much.
I mean, they get 1, they get a bunch of damage done. It's a fair bit to work with there. It's just Maryville, you want a little bit more to feel really secure in this round. It's just very, very thankful that Stony Brook really don't have much to work with. I think the Ghost in Elo Demon's hands is the only bought up gun.
Oh, this Outlaw as well. Oh, wow. Okay, really good. Out of this Omen, Anj is going to be pressured out. Screwface gets onto Elo Demon. Screwface now stuck in a corner. That's rough. Needs to call for help.
No way.
Steal with the right click. Giza's there in time. Okay. All right.
Just go ahead, Giza. Just jump at him. It's the secret to winning Valorant.
Of course. Pop out the show.
Jump into all your gunfights. But for Maryville, again, super solid round. Screwface gets away with things he probably shouldn't get away with again. And the cycle, and I mean, it'll no longer repeat, because surely Stony Brook, with the rifles that they have, will be able to take the round, right? Because they're statistically favored to win it.
I mean, I hear some doubt in your tone of voice, and I'm going to say I can kind of understand it, but I don't agree with it. We're going to believe. We're going to believe in Valorant. Elo Demon's already up in towards mid. Has a judge in hand. They're playing Valorant how Valorant should be played. Annoying and frustratingly.
And fired that judge, so Maryville will start to play a little bit more cautiously. Screwface does go searching, however, trying to get 1, but
What?
lack of bullets.
And Screwface can just go back, get healed by Renz, call it good, reset. I mean, I need to heal, I need to heal. Gets the heal, and now just reset back into their positions. I mean, they're going to stack towards the B site, maybe retake A. They're chilling.
That's what we do. Play things out. Ange will be able to get that opening pick onto Gia, so no pressure through B main. Instead, it's all going to have to come from this Heaven play. Screwface will be here to help deny it alongside Renz.
Oh, but Renz alongside the rest of them. Just go for it. John does find 2, so it makes it slightly doable. And the heal here for Sky is very nice with the chip damage. But Sky, John Frank himself is so low.
Yeah, and the problem is that Cloric hears all of this, sitting on the top of these rafters, waiting for any sort of main play. That doesn't happen. Instead, Cloric just farms up. All 3 of the players for Stony Brook fall. And Maryville, they're starting to build their own little snowballing lead.
By the way, he 180'd into that 3K. We just need to clarify. Homie, very calmly, staring towards main that whole time. Here's a footstep. You would think wouldn't be able to get it because you're looking in the wrong direction. Flick, bop, bop, bop. I mean, talk about player quality right there. There's not much else to add. For Stony Brook, I feel like they're hitting this panic button early to just figure out, okay, hey, we had a lot going for us. What happened? How do we break through? How do we start winning some of these rounds on the attack side?
And my answer to that would really be, ironically enough, play slower, right? The one thing that we kind of criticized them for doing on Bind, I think it's an option here that you could explore of spreading out a bit more, really trying to figure out what this Maryville defense looks like on a round-to-round basis, because so far it's been a lot of grouping up. Now, granted, that being said, you haven't really had a bunch of good weaponry, so maybe the logic is if we're all going to be on these low of guns, you might as well just go in as a team in death ball, but you got some sheriffs to work with, so if there's any time that a death ball would work, it would be in a round like this.
Run it up, but Screwface is here with a outlaw. And if they go one by one, it is going to be tough. Doesn't land on anything. Wait a minute. Rare little whiffage, but Giza's just there. Spray them down. Gets onto another beautiful 3K found. And at this point, Renz has an Odin in hand. Gonna smoke it off to give Renz a little bit of a peek. Has to heal himself, and already doing so much damage to Stony Brook. I mean, 2 players down, granted, is very nice for Stony Brook.
Yeah, the problem is you're really going to try and search for a third here. You've got a minute left. John Frank going to have to try and figure something out. At the very least, just to keep some attention. And you do get attention. The real question is how Gia is going to be able to play off of the attention that you gathered. Is the goal just to plant the spike, or you're going to try and get a pick and go for the round?
I'll see. Plant does also give them money.
Spike
Ultimate.
planted.
You get the plant. It did well off heaven.
It is doable. I'm just looking at this position out of Sky. They have to... it would
Oh,
have to be
no.
off of finding a pick. No, they're...
No, John
okay.
Frank's dead from sewer.
Yeah.
Last player standing.
At that point now, it's just up to Gia in the 1v3. And she does do a late wrap into heaven. There is a little bit of a wall break. But this is so weird because it's not planted for you. So they're just going to get the defuse.
Yeah, no. In theory, there's a world where Gia could lurk around and get it. The problem was because of the gap in the wall, Andrew's able to hold, picks the round up for Maryville, and they get this 4-0 lead. And we talked about the potential for this game to be a shutout, and this is where it starts to feel a little bit likely. At the very least, this half, right? Because we know how strong Maryville are at just kind of playing their defenses and making sure that their rotations are always perfect.
Yeah, I mean,
Chloric is 6-0.
I was gonna say,
4 rounds.
we haven't seen Chloric die. He has his ultimate. Giza has his ultimate. I think you talked about playing slow. This might be the round to do so. They're defaulting out a little bit just to get some info. Spam onto Ange is good. Ange just needs to fall back here.
Takes a lot of damage. We'll be able to get healed up by Rems. At the very least, is consolation health points.
Toxin screen down.
Still, you have the Cypher set up over towards A from Giza. You have a crossfire in mid between Renz and Screwface. I mean, it's going to be hard for Stony Brook to really just probe their way into any of these defenses. But Amikale is getting caught out right now, and there is that opening pick. Giza does claim it for Maryville.
And now they have 4 players up. They use their own information ultimate. Andrew, be cautious. Be wary. Ange is on the other end of this. You could be receiving sandwich of death. Ah, there's that spam. Pops out. Dies to Renz. And there's only 2 left.
Last player standing.
I mean, it's consolation frag for John Frank, but Ange and Giza will be able to close things out. So Maryville 5-0 start, and once again, Chloric yet to die.
Oh, homie's just locked in. Like, just stay alive. Like, I feel like the one round they take down Chloric is the round that they're going to win for Stony Brook.
Well, no, because Ange also hasn't died. So even if Chloric goes down, it doesn't mean the round is over.
And the reason to think with Ange, he just gets kills through smokes and plays back. Like, they're playing their roles so well. They don't need to take fights. Giza taking the fights is because Giza's just Giza and is supporting alongside. He's using the Cypher utility so actively, which I love. What are we, Renz? There's no way we're going up and just full on, like... I get it's an eco, but there's no way we're doing that.
The fact that he got away with one, got a little bit of damage onto another as well. Giza will be able to try and claim the next victim here, and does just that.
Down mid.
Chloric as well with 2. Andrew, go ahead. Try and win the 1v4.
Wait, Anj died. It's doable. One of the
Chloric's still
two.
alive.
Titans is full. I mean, oh, true, right? True.
Yeah, you need
Dude,
both of
Chloric
them
is
to
keeping
fall.
Chloric is keeping the KDA, not even going into the fight, just full support mode. Full support mode. I'm gonna be in the back here. Just gonna flash for you. Just gonna play with you. I mean, at this point, this is what we expected, right?
Yeah. I mean, in all honesty, yes. This is what we were expecting coming into this match. Chloric is 8-0. We'll keep tabs on that as this half progresses, but I mean, this is what we were thinking about. And Maryville, it doesn't really feel like they're planning on slowing down anytime soon. Screwface op, ready and posted up over towards B main. Oh.
What a timing. What interesting timing. Takes at least one shot off. And now they know, okay, there's a bit of noise here.
You can see Screwface was like down, so
It's okay,
Does
Renz is
eventually-
there.
yeah.
Shadows traveling.
Renz with the opener. Ange will be the player over towards ramps for now, alongside Chloric. So the unkillable A-side hold.
Immovable objects. Unstoppable force. It seems like Maryville is both of those in this moment.
I was gonna say, I think if Stony Brook is the force, they have been stopped. For
No,
about 6
Maryville's
rounds.
just both of those at the same time.
I believe it.
There, by the way, there wasn't I feel like there hasn't been a single, like, remotely coherent post plant. They've planted the spike. Like, that's definitely happened. We saw that previously.
I think they
But-
planted it.
Once. I think it was twice.
I think they planted it in the pistol.
All I know is that it has been a insane couple rounds. Giza gonna go down. The numbers, I
30
think, have
seconds left.
never been in Stony Brook's favor, which is a little bit frustrating, I would say, as a Stony Brook fan. But for Maryville, you are riding high. 3 ultimates right now. Renz is walking up confidently into another angle. Gets out of dodge. Doesn't even want to take that smoke. Knows Chloric is on the site with the Rolling Thunder. So you have everything you need for this round victory. Uses the Rolling Thunder, sends them flying, and immediately 3 kills all at once from every different angle.
Yep, Maryville, even without the Rolling Thunder, they were ready to collapse on that site take. Stony Brook, again, time their biggest enemy. And Chloric, now top of the leaderboard, 10-0 with 5 assists.
10-0, man. 10-0. Like, not dying a single time is impressive. Getting 10 while not dying a single time is insane.
And also being the top performer on your team in terms of ACS.
Definitely.
Just adds to the allure. And posted up over towards ramps, gets to open up the round yet again. Giza over in mid does a similar effect. And Renz, he's going for it again. Do it again.
Do it again. Do it again. Have the aftershock slow combo. Okay, no, Giza get a res. Wait.
Res
They're
Gia.
fighting. They're rezzing Giza right as he's fighting. That's crazy. The smoke dissipates. Finally, maybe this overcommit. No. Nah, Giza's just gonna get a 4K.
Yeah.
Chloric yet to die. I mean,
Ironically enough, Renz didn't even get to use the res. Renz just died.
that's a bit unfortunate. That's what happens when they're just like full overcommitting, but it works. They win.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for Maryville to just kind of strut their stuff. And also for Chloric to no longer be the top performer for Maryville. Giza gets to take the spot back. So, great signs for Maryville. And also for Giza, who is still technically in the MVP race for Div 1.
True. Ultimate gonna be engaged immediately by Screwface. Has no value, unfortunately, but the Outlaw might. It's Paranoia, Stun, Andrew, they know exactly your position. You are done.
Yeah. No neural theft even needed. Get a nice little barrier orb out over towards B main. Neural theft now used, so everyone on Stony Brook is now known, marked out. And this is just so tough.
Oh, Screwface held
Wow.
that in it
And
in the
so did Chloric.
You will
in
not
the molly.
kill my-
They res Elo Demon
Oh.
just to get farmed by Chloric and Giza again. This is just unfortunate to watch, I think, at this point. And it's what it is. It is what it is. Like, it happens.
That's what I'm talking about with the rotations, though, from Maryville. Like, they're always so good on the defense, right? You have Chloric, who's alone on this A site with an op, right? And so your immediate thought is, if you're Chloric, okay, you get one, you get out. Well, Chloric gets the first. But because Giza is already so close to this A site, it gives Chloric the opportunity to stay aggressive with this op and then play the crossfire with Giza. It works out perfectly, and there's a reason that they're up 9-0 right now, and that is one of the huge reasons why.
Screwface, by the way, just every time there's utility, just completely disrespect, just runs into it. That's how confident they are. And even with these 3 ultimates, I am not, like, I'm still obviously favoring Maryville, but even with these ultimates and the eco, Stony Brook have just, I don't know what they would do here. They already used one of their timeouts. They've already done so much. They've tried rushing onto sites and 5-second. They've tried defaulting, playing slow. Realistically, I feel like the best bet is to play against some of the overcommits that we've seen out of Maryville. But even in their overcommits, they win.
Yeah. Like, Maryville could force the issue. Still looking good. Look at Giza pushing through a smoke alongside the utility from Chloric. It works out perfectly. Screwface gets to take the off. Pushes way forward.
What?
No scopes onto Elo Demon.
Wait. I think Screwface is playing without headphones.
No, he has
Is he the-
this.
Okay, in-ear, okay. I was about to say, he just has headphones around his neck. And I'm like, is this dude playing? No, he's got in-ear. Yeah, I see the in-ears.
Yeah.
He has no headset on. I was like, that would be wild.
He's using the headset for the mic.
It's perfectly positioned. I like how this is broken. This is our analysis. That's like perfectly positioned for that's what we're talking about.
Chloric is 12-0. He hasn't died. What is there to analyze?
I mean, again, like the analysis was this.
Yeah.
The one good couple of rounds that Stony Brook had were when Maryville overcommitted. Even in the overcommits, they lost. It just seems like it is like there's a lot that needs to change. Like, it's individual player ability alongside just having good individual reads. Like Elo Demon being caught off guard here without any support on their teammates. Giza dies, gets res. Screwface is there. They're protecting them. It's so regimented for Maryville.
Yeah, it is. Maryville's just having fun. You can see Ren's just going, trying to wall up Screwface. Screwface just taking quick scopes with the op. Giza's B-hopping out of smokes. Chloric's not even afraid to die anymore because they got Renzera on the other side, and while sure, it's an impressive 3K out from John Frank.
Renzera.
With the Odin just running
With
down.
the Odin is running. I mean, no, for honestly, at this point, right? Like, it's just really, it's just rough. Like, we're repeating the same sentences, and I would love to see Maryville. I want to see what's gonna happen on the second half, because Stony Brook, they're gonna need so much. Like, the one string of hope is that on the flip side, on the defensive side, it's the better side for them. They just do some damage. Like, it's even just one round would be good, but I don't even know. Okay.
At least something, right? You get an opening pick that goes your way.
Wait a minute. Player advantage. I think one of the first times in this game we've seen a player advantage in their favor. Immediately lost by Giza, who has a kill trip in a meta where Cypher kill trips should not work, mind you.
Where is everyone? Cage triggered.
Just a very normal tripwire. Giza plays off of it perfectly. Boombot. He'll eventually spot out Giza, but Giza doesn't care.
Oh my lord.
Sun want to mace, it doesn't matter. Screwface is there. Solo ults John Frank, and Maryville have completed the 12-0 half.
I think the most inting part of this game for Maryville was that ace being stolen. That was the worst part.
This
That was the
is
worst
now
part.
twice in the series that Giza's had his ace stolen, isn't it?
Oh, poor Giza. Poor Giza. Good for honestly. keeps him humble.
One's by Renz, the other by Screwface. So
it's okay. It's okay.
Still
Keeps him
hasn't
humble.
died.
Keeps him humble. Keeps him humble. Keeps Giza to the 21-5 king humble.
I think that's actually why Giza hasn't won. Giza isn't in the lead for Div 1 MVP.
No A's.
Because you can't get an ace.
Yeah.
It's okay. I mean, assuming they win one more round, then, you know, he can maybe get one in the grand finals tomorrow, but...
At this point, it seems like an inevitability. The only thing is that maybe this overextension finally gets read into. John Frank gonna find the first onto Renz. They just need to play this defense side. Elo Demon gets another, so they now have the player advantage on the defense, but Giza is there. Cloric with the trades, boom, back and forth. And that opens up the B site.
Gives them a chance. The problem is Cloric has the spike, and Cloric could potentially get caught out. Thankfully,
First death?
For Maryville. No one from Stony Brook is gonna go peeking that
Spike
early.
planted.
And so it's gonna buy time. It's gonna let Ange sneak all the way back up over towards heaven.
It's
There's
doable.
potential here, but no! It's now a 1v3, and Cloric, the
Oh.
unkillable, finally falls! Stony Brook, they get one round on the board.
Cloric finally falls. That's all I need to hear. The copium is back, bro. The copium is back. Stony Brook win it all. Right here. Right. No, but it was really good off of them, right? The way that they played together. They retook the site instead of really forcing the issue. I feel like if they forced it and tried to get ahead of it, in that moment specifically, they are not feeling it. They're not in the flow state. They need to play for the high value.
And I mean, there's a chance for Stony Brook to bring things back, but I mean, even now, Maryville want to take this shorty, send it all the way.
Okay, if Screwface got that, I think it would have been insanity. But no, things are looking pretty solid.
One enemy remaining.
I mean, that's a huge 2. No chance for Maryville through the rest of this game. Or rest of the round, rather.
The game.
Oh, yeah, no chance for Maryville the rest of this game.
Yeah, no, 12-2. No chance for the game.
Oh, there it is. Andrew, good vibes.
They need that. They need that for this 12-0 back-to-back that we see.
Listen, they've got it. How long do you think it takes before Maryville is like, okay, guys, we actually need to lock in now? Is it this round? Is this the round where they lock in, or you think it's going to take...
There's a 5 stack towards A. They're going to probably get the opening pick here and maybe get traded out 4-4. Like, they're just going to fall into the site. Like, they have better guns now. I feel like they're going to feel their confidence. This should be it. Oh my god, never mind. Elo Demon is truly living up to the reputation. Screwface now needs to punish.
And it won't be Screwface, it'll be Ange instead with the Shadow Step. And now Maryville, they want to go hunting. Make sure Stony Brook has absolutely 0 chance on the retake. They do have 2 players over towards ramp. Ange very much aware of this fact. Will try and take down John Frank, but the swing from Andrew will do one better. It's now that 2v4. Screwface, the only player still in heaven.
Oh! It was doable for a second, but Gia slows it down. Cloric now. They were unkillable in the past. Can they be unkillable again? Spam a little wide 20 HP from the sidelines. Answer the wall. Gia's gonna find them. And I stand corrected. My apologies to Stony Brook and Elo Demon. I will have a written letter to you guys in 1 to 2 business years.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Stony Brook. I mean, this is a defense that, again, it feels like hope, potential, right? You're down 12-0. It's a lot to try and take care of, but there is a real shot of it. Elo Demon now op in hand. We've upgraded from the days of the Outlaw. The only fear is that, again, it's Maryville mostly over towards A, and you really only got John Frank to help you.
Hey, John Frank. So, do we have Elo Demon, John Frank? I think.
Well, hold on.
Wait, there's one more.
Yeah, I was gonna say Amikel's here now.
Okay, okay. By the way, force buy is up for Maryville. They've consistently been buying up into this, so maybe
It's more of like a hero
they.
buy.
Is it a hero? Oh,
It's
it
like
is. It is. They're
sheriffs
on.
for everyone
Yeah,
else. Yeah.
they are. I assumed incorrectly in the moment, but realistically,
They
it
got
makes
the spike
sense.
and a
Realistically, it
couple
makes
picks.
sense. It makes sense. They got. I mean, listen. Screwface knows ball.
Yeah.
Still,
I mean, they have the spike. Looking in a pretty decent spot. Ange can pick up more.
What?
Well,
Gia
Sure.
somehow still gets it. The wraparound
No
from
way.
Screwface, though. Oh no. They did plan towards heaven. Last player standing on the hero rifle and needs to be the hero here. Taps onto another. Paint shells have been refreshed. Sends them out in the nick of time. Low HP for these two players. Elo Demon down to 1. The time running thin, but there
No
it is.
time.
There's no time. Oh
Attackers
my
win.
god.
so Maryville just 13-3'd their way into the grand finals. And this is Maryville after winning the semi-finals of Division 1 Fall Split. For the Apex Predators of the Maryville Saints, for them, it's just a regular day in the office.
In the native Missouri.
In the native jungles of Missouri, of St. Louis, Missouri.
I can't. I honestly, I literally can't. I mean, these stats, I feel like are, I feel like it's worse to show them. It's just rough, right? Like,
Yeah.
by the way, just how insane. Like, yeah, Giza's at the top. We've had the kill participation is insane. 4 and 14 for Chloric. He went, I think it was 11-0 before dying, like it was, or 10 or 11. Like, he was so close. He was double digits before he finally died. I think he might have even ended the half without a death. So
Yeah, he did.
just to like reiterate the player quality for Maryville, and the reason we give them so much credit within this league is because I don't think, I mean, I think it is a mix of both player quality and the infrastructure that they have for their system. That being said, I mean, I feel like that's all I could really say about the stats.
Yeah, the fact that you had everyone on Maryville on super high numbers of assists, or you're just Giza and you got double the amount of kills as the enemy top fragger. I think that'll kind of just do enough for you in most situations to win you a game. And the fact that they get to walk away from split 13-3, like I said, for them, it kind of just looked like a light day in the office. They get to find themselves in the grand finals tomorrow. No sweat off their backs.
Well, speaking of the grand finals tomorrow and of Maryville, we are going to have an interview with one of the players. So stay tuned for that. After a short break, we'll be back talking and chopping it up with the Maryville squad. We'll see you guys then. Think you know how today's matches will play out? Prove it with Division 1 pick'ems. Follow along and put your predictions to the test. Each week, you can make your picks for both Valorant and League of Legends, or just stick to your favorite game. Predict the winners of our future matches and choose the players you think will have the biggest impact. Every correct pick earns you points. The more points you score, the higher you climb on that leaderboard. At the top, you'll find prizes waiting for you at the end of the split. It's easy to play, adds excitement to every match, and keeps you connected with the action all season long. So lock in your picks, track your progress, and see if you've got what it takes to top the Division 1 Pick'ems leaderboard. Welcome back. We came back pretty quickly. We're here with Giza. Obviously, winning feels great. Going to grand finals, even better. But the real question is, how are we feeling after multiple back-to-back 4Ks and aces getting stolen near the end?
Ooh, that one in sewers when Kyle took it really upset me. I ain't gonna lie. Especially when a previous game I made sure he went positive. Was that DreamHack Atlanta? I made sure he went positive. He's looking. I'm looking at him right now. He's saying he's sorry, but I made sure he went positive, and he just stole it right out of my hand. So it's fake, really fake.
How could he? How could he?
I mean, listen, between him stealing that one and then Ren stealing the ace on bind with the Bucky.
Oh, did Renz also steal an ace from me on bind?
Yeah.
I didn't.
The one kill Ren's got was with a bucket out of you guys playing a short.
Everyone just loves taking my aces. It's fine. It's whatever.
They do. So
I'm okay with that.
let's kind of talk about this game for a second, because obviously after yesterday, when that Stony Brook main team ended up beating Winthrop,
That was impressive.
Yeah, everyone was super shocked. So then to come in today and find out that it's the B team playing, I mean, what was your guys' mentality coming into today?
I mean, we were excited to play them. Yeah, no, we were excited to play them, especially since they beat Winthrop. So they're definitely probably a good challenge. But a little disappointed. But honestly, the B team brought a really good game, especially on bind. So I thought it was going to be hard from the beginning, but I think we just ended up waking up and meshing a little more. But a little disappointed, like I said, but I think they put up a good fight as well. So they were shooting.
Fair enough. I mean, the next question is going to be more about the grand finals, right? Obviously, competitors always expect to win, right? As a competitor, you're like, yeah, we're going to win. We're going to make grand finals. Now that you guys are at grand finals, what are your expectations? What are you guys prepping for?
I think we're just prepping for just have fun. I think who are we playing in the grand finals?
We don't know yet.
Either West Virginia or St. Clair.
Okay. Oh, both of them are pretty good teams. So St. Clair, I think we already know how I feel like we already know how both teams play. We just kind of have to touch base again when we figure out who we're playing, and then create a game plan from there. But both those teams are definitely formidable. I think we'll have a good grand finals.
So I kind of wanted to pivot into now talking about the season as a whole, right? Because obviously you guys had a couple roster changes, couple weeks where you had some people filling in, right? And it now kind of feels like you've solidified yourselves with Kyle coming into the roster, with Screwface coming in as that fifth player. So when it comes to not only obviously the grand finals tomorrow, but also into the spring, I mean, do you feel confident that this is the five that you guys are going to be operating with for the near future?
Honestly, I don't have 100% like idea. I mean, it might, but it might not be. We'll see. But most likely we'll probably play with Kyle, Mr. SF. So, but yeah, I think we're all meshing together pretty well, and it's going pretty good. And I think it's gonna keep getting better, especially the more we play together.
You can keep stealing your aces.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Does that happen in ranked as well?
I don't really play much ranked with Kyle, but not really. I feel like in ranked people are more kind, more nice. So.
Well, fair enough. Near the end, I always love to give the opportunity for you to shout out anything or anyone that you would like, anything, socials, projects, stuff that you are working on in the back end, or anyone who has helped you get to where you are today here before we wrap up the interview.
Yeah, I'll just shout out a couple of people. Shout out to my dad, Joe. Shout out to my grandma, Donna. Shout out to my brother, Tyler. Shout out to my girlfriend, Mahiette. And then shout out to my brother, Tyler. Yeah. And my teammates. I want to forget my teammates and Maryville. Especially Clarky as well. So,
Dubs to all, bro. Dubs to all. Well, thank you so much for joining us on the desk. We always appreciate getting some insights from you guys. But yeah, we're going to be heading to another break. And when we come back from, when we come back to the screen, when we come back from said break, we are going to be, seeing who is joining Maryville in those grand finals. So stay tuned to see who's making it to the grand finals of the spring split. Think you know how today's matches will play out? Prove it with Division 1 pick'ems. Follow along and put your predictions to the test. Each week, you can make your picks for both Valorant and League of Legends, or just stick to your favorite game. Predict the winners of our future matches and choose the players you think will have the biggest impact. Every correct pick earns you points. The more points you score, the higher you climb on that leaderboard. At the top, you'll find prizes waiting for you at the end of the split. It's easy to play, adds excitement to every match, and keeps you connected with the action all season long. So lock in your picks, track your progress, and see if you've got what it takes to top the Division 1 Pick'ems leaderboard. Think you know how today's matches will play out? Prove it with Division 1 Pick'ems. Follow along and put your predictions to the test. Each week, you can make your picks for both Valorant and League of Legends, or just stick to your favorite game. Predict the winners of our future matches and choose the players you think will have the biggest impact. Every correct pick earns you points. The more points you score, the higher you climb on that leaderboard. At the top, you'll find prizes waiting for you at the end of the split. It's easy to play, adds excitement to every match, and keeps you connected with the action all season long. So lock in your picks, track your progress, and see if you've got what it takes to top the Division 1 Pick'ems leaderboard. Ding, 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 ding. Time to get back to class. Lunch break is over. We are here with the second game of the semis. Before grand finals can kick off, we need to crown one more victor. And we said, right as we left, what's going to happen in this match. We have West Virginia versus St. Clair, two powerhouse teams. If you are just joining us, my name is Nerds. I'm here with Ancient Angel. We are the voices here today. But if you have been watching, well, you've been seeing this bracket, you've been seeing these plays, you've been seeing all of the chaos unfold.
Yeah, I mean, we're starting round one, the first game of the playoffs, when Stony Brook upset Winthrop, which that alone was the most insane thing to happen. On the other side of things, West Virginia played up against Boise State in those quarterfinals. West Virginia didn't end up winning, as many of us predicted. And just earlier today, Maryville played up against the B team from Stony Brook due to, I guess, other complications, and Maryville was able to take away their win, earn their spot in the grand finals. So now it's just between two of the other two teams in the Big Four, St. Clair and West Virginia, for who gets to join Maryville in the grand finals.
Ooh, and this is a matchup that we've seen in the past. This is a matchup that we've seen towards the beginning of the split, and it actually went in favor of a very interesting team. It went in favor of St. Clair, who is the upper seed heading into this, but we'll dissect all of that. I'm gonna let you talk about that actually, because I feel like you have a headcanon here, and I want to hear it.
I do, but let's start with St. Clair, this kind of revolving door of players. And this is actually the week one match on your screens right now. And St. Clair had this really interesting, I guess, team structure throughout this semester where there was kind of this revolving door of players, right? Seth, Jazzy, Instinct. I think A. Brooks was even there for a week, right? It just, everyone had to kind of sub in just due to scheduling issues. And they were still able to take it across somehow in this game, in the first game of the season against West Virginia in a 2-0 fashion, and they kept up a very solid, consistent form week to week for St. Clair. So, when you're talking about this team, I think in specific, you have a guy like Tyga who's been consistently showing up to week. I think he would be the guy that I would think of when you're talking about the St. Clair team. And I think on the other end, for West Virginia, it's got to be Gucci, surely.
It's got to be Gucci, right? Gucci has, not only does Gucci have aura just off of that photo, but also just just look 76% cast. He's always in the action. The stats, I think, they're literally just head to head greater than. He's always up at it. And he's playing smokes for this roster.
And that's just it. I mean, ignore the fact that the schools are swapped. Tyga is St. Clair's smokes / flex player, and Gucci is West Virginia's smokes player. But, it does have to be mentioned that Gucci coming into this playoffs was a guy who was top 3 in MVP, if not top 2, right? So, I mean, he was just looking absolutely dominant week to week.
Honestly, I was going to say, honestly, West Virginia was one of those teams that I didn't see a lot of, but when I look at their stats, it's very hard to deny just the impact that they have. We talk about this, the reason we're so excited for this matchup is because it went to overtime. This Haven game went to overtime, and it was off of players like Dinks, Excite, and Gucci just working their magic ever so consistently to give West Virginia the edge.
Yeah, and it was this West Virginia team week to week that just looked so solid. And even with A77 coming into this roster a little bit later throughout the season, they still ended up looking really good. They started synergizing really well towards the end. That's why coming into this, I expect this team to really go far, especially when you consider that this is kind of the last hurrah for a couple of these guys, right? Enox and Dinks particularly kind of nearing the end of their collegiate careers.
Mm-hmm.
They're not really going to have another chance here in the collegiate circuit. And so for Division One, you've made it to playoffs. You have an opportunity to get to the grand finals. All you need is 2 map wins.
Truly, truly. And speaking of those maps, we're going to be seeing them right now. I'm looking down in the wrong direction. Split Pearl to get things started. I am very excited for Pearl personally. The map, like the way that it's changed, the way that it's now played. B site's a lot more open. You can not have that cringe post plant. As well as, you know, having Haven as that decider. I think something we've wanted out of this match is for it to go to distance, either overtime or map 3. We are rooting for this to be a barn burn. Like, this needs to be a silver scrapes. Like, we need to see this go the distance.
I want it to go the distance, right? Even if we don't get to Haven, give me overtime on one of the first 2 maps and I'm good. You know, I think both you and I are very much in the same kind of vein where we love watching Split, we love watching Pearl. So, you know, go ahead, give me 50 rounds of Pearl. I'm here for the long haul. Give me 50 rounds. If it ends 24-26, I'll be happy.
The producers,
You know?
the observers are just like,
I can hear Reached at one of our observers just like cursing me under her breath right now.
well, I mean, before we get to Pearl, we have to start with Split. We're going to be getting into Split here and seeing what these guys got or cooking for us.
Ooh.
Yes, Taiga. Yes, Taiga. Yes. Give me Clove.
Yeah, Taiga
Give me
on the
Clove.
Clove. I like this pick out from St. Clair. I think Taiga as a player, we've seen him shine the most when he's actually been off of the smokes and on a duelist role, right? We think about the Taiga game where he would play Phoenix for St. Clair and he would just go absolutely nuclear on an agent like that. And so when you move him over to a Clove where he has a little bit more personal freedom to take the fights that he wants to take, I mean, that's where he's going to shine. And so the fact that you can get him on this defense, potentially get him a little bit more proactive into some of these fights, that's going to be huge. And with Tillo kind of being around him to back him up should he fall in some of these fights is going to be just kind of a huge confidence boost to Taiga.
Well, hopefully they can play hand in hand. They're starting off here on the defense, and it looks like it's a stack towards B, but nobody's on B. It's a B retake called.
Yeah, West Virginia, I mean, they have a really solid read, or St. Clair on the other end just deciding to trust in their retakes. But considering they do isolate that pick onto Enox, it does mean that West Virginia is going to have a really tough time in this hold. St. Clair, they get that 5v4 advantage, and they have that early
Spike
flank from
planted.
Instinct.
Oh, this wrap out could be deadly. Instinct's going to win it onto Gucci. We talked about head-to-heads, and seems like his head's going to be decapitated here. Last 2 players out towards Ali. Need to break on through. Dinks already has the grenade ready. Tillo collapses on them. And hand in hand, time and time, St. Clair swarm. But there is a little bit of a pinstripe kill feed back and forth. Unfortunately, because the players were already down, it's up to A77 to clutch this round. But it's Jazzy, the one to do it instead with a right click. Allowing now also Clove to pick up that ult. Honestly, Taiga getting that Not Dead Yet available pretty early on would be really solid for them.
Yeah, that would be huge if you can get this Clove online. We talk about Taiga and the impact that he can have in some of these rounds when he just feels unburdened. And that is absolutely one way to give him that ability to just go in and start swinging, is get that Not Dead Yet online as fast as possible. But to that end, you want to talk about unburdening, Tillo is almost halfway to the resurrection.
Oh my gosh, that would be... Honestly...
Can you imagine that? Taiga uses the Not Dead Yet, dies, and then gets resurrected, so he's like 3 lives in 1
3
round.
lives. The 3rd time's a try, right? Jazzy, though, feeling the pressure. Worried about different positions. Enox is already stuck into main, so... have to be worried about that. No shot gonna land onto her just yet. She falls back.
Yeah, and it's good on Jazzy to do that, right? You don't want to get isolated. You don't want to give West Virginia a gap to work with here, especially considering there are so many of them over towards this A side of the map. You're going to hope and see if you can catch Excite out possibly, but with Instinct playing very, very disciplined over towards mid, that's going to be a very, very difficult thing to do.
I just realized Gucci's got a buggy. Gux ready to go for it, and he does. Takes down JP. Excite now out towards mid. Gets another. This slow roll out of West Virginia is brutal.
And they've completely left A main open. The only player that would be able to at least initially take this peak would be Jazzy.
30
Sure,
seconds
Tillo
left.
is nearby, but West Virginia, they have a lot of control to work with. They just need to commit to one side of the map. And so as Enox slowly tries to lurk his way out, try and get some information to the rest of the team, it's West Virginia opting over towards this B site, but there is still a Taiga here and waiting, and the clock is running down.
They need to get this plant. Slowly, they're walking in on the site, jumping down. Now they need to speed up. A77 with the plant, but Taiga here. Oh, they're in the clear. Spike goes down, but the heads, they're decapitated.
Player standing.
Down to the 1v1 to the wire. Can Dinks survive? No, he cannot. Taiga rising to the occasion. We see why Taiga was put on this clove. All the utility working in their hand, and even more so why we see them on that Vandal, on that rifle in this round.
And that is the Taiga we were expecting coming into today. This is a guy who, listen, just because the stats aren't as flashy as Gucci's doesn't mean that he's any less effective. He is ready to pop off at any moment, and he proved it right there. A 1v4 only player on the B site, and he's still able to get the round for St. Clair and give them the opportunity to bonus here in round 3.
I mean, if they bonus here and they start off on this defense so strong, West Virginia, oh, they're going to be feeling it, especially because West Virginia found the first 2 openers.
Yeah, it was a 3v5.
Now they're just walking up towards B main. I mean, they're stacked up in there. We do obviously still have the lurk for Enox, but how much is it going to draw at rotate? Seems like a lot.
Solid game from JP so far. Just trying to be that anchor alongside Instinct. So at the very least, there is some form of reinforcement here. But
Ooh.
really, with the amount of information and space that Tillo has over towards A, it gives St. Clair a really nice opportunity to kind of just double up in all these spots. You can see 2 players over towards mid, 2 players over towards B main. They have a lot of room and reinforcement to work with, and Taiga just gets to add to the momentum for St. Clair with another opening pick.
And now they just turtle back in towards A. Unfortunately, Tillo can't turtle himself out. Taiga, though, oh, they still have that Phantom in hand, so
30 seconds left.
can play this perfectly. Taiga onto another. Even pops the extra HP. Not dead yet available. Taiga's just going to invest straight into it. Understands that the players are running, knows that Enox was out here lurking. Instinct takes them down. And at this point, A77, last player standing. Taiga will fall. But this quarter hold out of JP gives them the round.
And St. Clair, they get to convert the bonus once again off of the heroics from Taiga. Sure, Pop's not dead yet, doesn't get any kills off of it, but it does force West Virginia to flee, so no opportunity for those 2 remaining players to group up. They get picked off individually. Taiga, 8 kills in 3 rounds. It's exactly what you want to see. West Virginia's back down to another eco, and Tillo now gets the opportunity to start farming towards that resurrection. He should be able to have it next round at a minimum, but he's got that outlaw to make it a little bit sweeter.
They're going full force into this. West Virginia wants to just have the stack come in towards the A site. Test St. Clair's retake, potentially.
Gucci's already in heaven. It was being watched, though, so Instinct will be able to take down the Omen from West Virginia. It's this push over by Ramps.
Oh?
It's really about Excite, seeing how long he can buy space for A77 to get on out of there. He does just that. Sniper wars between the Sages don't result in anything, and it's that 4v3 rating, now 5v3 in favor of St. Clair.
Oh, and Tillo, fine. Okay, Tillo does land on A77, but there we go. 2 more picked up here with those eco weapons. They just need to stall out this plant. They've been turtling back site. They've been holding out.
No way.
Last player standing. It's Instinct. The wraparound. He's gotta live up to his name. Oh, the spray down's there. Needs to tap it, but can't find it. Enox gets the last pick and the thrifty here for West Virginia.
Leading by example, West Virginia, a tough opening start to this game. Enox eventually will be able to convert around in favor of West Virginia. And he does it off the back of a thrifty round where there's just heroics from Dinks. in the back of the site, in screens with nothing but a stinger to his name. He plays around that little tiny glass box perfectly.
Oh yeah,
For his IGL to close out.
oh, this is beautiful. Oh, instinct. Up in hand, Dinks now. Gonna get active, I think. Just a little bit of scale with the blast packs. Not sure if it missed or not, but definitely gives them this site, and they're gonna go for a fast plant. I understand, hey, our post plant was
Spike planted.
a little bit messy last round. Let's spread out a little bit more.
Jazz is already sending in the Trailblazer. Does catch out of sight, but there's 3 players over in A main right now. So if they really try and go for this ramps crunch, which St. Clair love to do, West Virginia, they should have the lead and they should be able to catch them out.
Oh, this hold as well. It's working good. JP to find the first. Trades are out here, though. Ultimate engaged. And now this should allow Instinct to fight forward. Into the fire they go. Fired off. Tillo rests onto Jazzy. Numbers are there. And Instinct gets onto another. Dink's position known. Paint shells now forcing him to take this fight in an awkward angle, but just a little bit too tall on those shots.
And this is why when Jazzy first was announced to be going to St. Clair, we got excited for this move because Jazzy as a player is super, super smart, super gifted mechanically, and is really good at setting up her teammates. And she's proving it here, acting as an excellent facilitator in these retakes to allow St. Clair these rounds. And this timeout from West Virginia, I think is really gonna start to get into a lot of these post-plant situations.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, they played really slow. They tried to get picks. They worked the map, I think, on their eco, like round 3 when they lost and they went on to the 4th round. They had a pretty solid spread out where they managed to get some picks. Wait, no, I'm messing up. Round 2 on their eco, they did get picks. That's what it was with the Bucky. So I kind of want to see a replication of that. Right, it worked. They got the leg up. But imagine that with rifles rather than going for a full stack into some area. West Virginia pick off some players. They have the numbers advantage. The post plant just becomes trivial at that point to some degree, especially if they have advanced space somewhere.
Yeah, I'm a little interested to see what the game plan is from West Virginia now. It's going to be a bit of a tough buy if they do decide to fully commit, and you can see Dinks on a stinger, sure, 1 hero vandal in the hands of Enox, but overall not very well equipped for West Virginia. And they have to deal with this.
Oh my god. That's got to be frustrating.
Yeah, that's 3 players of St. Clair over on this A side of the map.
And again, they're stacking together, so I guess it was maybe a mental reset, let's make some noise here, throw a fake, send some stuff out. I mean, they're rotating out into mid, but no one was there, so now mid control needs to be fought for. Oh, JP only has a judge. This should be pretty easy to grab. He knows where they're at.
Yeah, but he does have to deal with the timer going down on his poison orb, so the tuck in the mail has to give up the vision. Maybe the Trailblazer instead to do it. No way he runs out.
There's a smoke out in front of him. He's able to get away with it because of that closed smoke sent out by Taiga. Flash gives info, and they cycle it perfectly. You can't get into mid, forcing them back into A.
And you've still got Jazzy and Tillo both here, ready and waiting.
30 seconds left.
Flash gonna pop out of the wall, smoke up as well. And these last 2 players waiting out need to get these picks. They do! Jazzy finding the first onto Gucci and now has her ultimate to invest into this. Opposite A77 with the plant. They're gonna use the Viper's Pit to stall.
Sight here does fall. Tillo gonna be able to start this retake in the 3v5. Couple more shots being traded about.
Oh, there we are. Metal going to be invested into the pit, a little bit up top, sprayed out. JP is going to take advantage of the fire and goes into the flame. Wow. JP with a judge in hand is nasty. What?
I mean, who knows better than a Viper in how to play in a Viper's pit, right? Just goes in, judge in hand, be hopping around, thinking he's Neon. No, he's just JP, and he's gunned everybody down. And St. Clair, they are looking to absolutely dominate here on Split. A 5-1 start. Up in the hands of Instinct yet again. JP deciding to just stick with the judge, considering he has the Viper's Pit up on his own end. And for West Virginia, you're really hoping that these Seekers from Excite will be able to help you put a second round on the board.
Don't get in my way. That's out in mid. Trailblazer, though, is going to spot out JP. I know generally where he is. Same setup, but it's not broken. It hasn't been. Like, now they're just leaning towards the B site. There's still a 4-stack with 1 out A. Like, is it weird to say that it feels mildly sedentary? Like, it's not changing or...
Tillo's in sewer already.
Oh my god.
On before the push even starts. Sure, you're trying to go for this. You use the From the Shadows to try and catch out Instinct, and while you do get a fair bit of spam done, there's so much more to do than just that. The Viper's Pit does go down, and Enox is able to take Taiga, but that's going to be the cue for Tillo to start getting activated, but it doesn't matter! Enox, a huge 2 kills to completely open up the A side of the map, and that's going to cue the rotation for West Virginia.
There we go. We got those early picks. Now we have the numbers. The post plant should be, like I said previously, trivial.
Instinct over at A, though, with the AWP.
Oh, that is becoming deadly. Enox gonna be the first to meet their maker. Instinct takes out another onto Gucci. How could you do this? It should have been trivial. It should have been easy. But it's not that easy. Not when St. Clair is here. Flash to come through. A77 out of position. JP finishes what? Jazzy started. I guess it's the J duo. Jazzy and JP together hand in hand. The numbers is back in their favor.
And Excite's stuck in this corner. This should be a one and done position, but can't even find that. It's now all dinks.
No.
1v3, sure, you take care of Jazzy, but it's now a 1v2, and there's going to be an op posted up on that angle. JP just gets the stick, and that's done. St. Clair, a 6-1 lead in the first 7 rounds of the series.
Their retakes are just so nasty. Like, what are we doing? Jazzy, like, yeah, Jazzy whiffs on the shot. JP's there. Immediately a double found for Instinct with an op. And you'd think, all right, West Virginia, we found the leg up. We got our advantage. We took 2 players down. We rotated A's empty, more or less. There's only 1 player. But they don't expect Instinct there, I guess. Or maybe they just didn't clear it out.